Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about the drama that has occurred in the big and small communities here on YouTube. Alright, let's get down into business. Now, this video is mainly going to be on one topic today. It's not going to be about anything else. This video is not going to be about any other drama. It's just going to be solely on one drama. And you know what that drama is? fouseyTUBE, and it's going to be about fouseyTUBE's events and Keemstar's documentaries. Or his three-part documentary, I should say. So, Keemstar already made his first part of the documentary on fouseyTUBE. Now, before I get into Keemstar's documentary on his first part, I'm going to backtrack a bit to where it all started, July 15th. Now, fouseyTUBE is, this is after the show was done. He had a really bad event in Australia, or actually, this is before July 15th. So, he's in Australia, and only under 400 people show up to his event. So, the show was not a disaster, but it was underwhelming. Not a lot of people showed up. The event was not sold out. But a lot of people knew who he was in the concert. But nobody knew that the concert was nobody knew that the event was taking place. So, after that failed, he went to Los Angeles to do another event, and that was underwhelming as well. And also, he lied to his audience a bit, saying that the show was already sold. It's similar to what Tanamongo said about TanaCon. Also, you can check out PewDiePie's video if you want to see the similarities with fouseyTUBE and Tanamongo with what they said before their event started. Now, fouseyTUBE had his event, and like I said, it was underwhelming. Not a lot of people showed up, but that was all ruined because of a threat that someone made in his event. And so the event got shut down, and he and his fans all went up to a field where he was on top of a car, and he was performing his show there. And then Keemstar arrived, and then fouseyTUBE. This is when fouseyTUBE started to perform for his audience a bit, and he kind of lied about some things, because one, he said that Keemstar tried to expose him last year. Now, last time I checked, Keemstar wasn't exposing anybody last year, and I feel like what fouseyTUBE was referring to, or what he was trying to refer to, was 2 years ago. However, Keemstar was only reporting the news of what drama fouseyTUBE was in, such as Leafy is here making his 4 rants on fouseyTUBE that year. And I feel like fouseyTUBE got himself in that mess in the first place by faking beef with Rice Gum and by pretending to get assaulted by him, and he also compared himself to Tupac, and also made a mini rant when he was visiting a kid in a hospital. But anyways, that's just a little rant. But anyways, I have a mini rant on some fouseyTUBE fans. Some fouseyTUBE fans call out Keemstar because they say that he makes a profit off of someone's misfortune. Now, I will tell you this. Shane Dawson did the same thing with Tanamongo by making a 3-part documentary of the misfortunes that Tanamongo had with TanaCon. So apparently that's okay with some people, and apparently to fouseyTUBE fans that's not okay with some people. It's just a hypocritical double standard against Keemstar that I don't understand why that double standard is even made. Now I get it. A person on Twitter told me that those two events are different, okay? One's trying to spread positivity and trying to stop hate, while the other was just a malicious disaster. And I get it. The two events were different, okay? It might You can just draw this up to your own conclusion, but in my opinion, I still think Keemstar would have made a documentary if the show was a success or not. But do I think it's right for Keemstar to make a documentary off of fouseyTUBE? Yes, I do think Keemstar is in the right for making a documentary because he wants to get the truth. He's being inspired by Shane Dawson, and he wants people to know inside intel that fouseyTUBE and Keemstar had behind the scenes, along with other people such as FaZe Banks, Ricegum, Andy Malonicus, Keemstar's friends, No Jumper 22, and Sam Pepper. Well, Sam Pepper or No Jumper I don't believe they were in the documentary, but on with the documentary. So, Keemstar, there's a few things that I see that raises red flags, okay? FaZe Banks, in the middle of the documentary, in the first part, FaZe Banks, or after the FaceTime, after the FaceTime with fouseyTUBE, FaZe Banks jumps to the conclusion that fouseyTUBE might be going through something horrible. And he's probably right, but I'm not going to say he's wrong either, because we don't know if the information that FaZe Banks said was true or not. And actually, it wasn't information, it was just a simple jumping to conclusion type of deal that he presented. But Keemstar was being as meticulous as he could. He tried to be as cautious as he could be and said that he was trying to promote his music video with all these events that he's doing. And the next day, speaking of the music video, the next day, he made a diss track on Ricegum. Yes, that's what the music video was. And Ricegum claims that he hasn't had any beef with fouseyTUBE whatsoever. He also claims that he hasn't spoke to fouseyTUBE in a while. It might be a few weeks, it might be a few months, who knows. But then Keemstar said he was going to the event, and FaZe Banks said he wasn't coming, probably because he didn't want to get lured into that trap. And Keemstar went to the event, and that's how the first part ended. So, the first part of the documentary was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. My mind is filled with inside intel from what Keemstar presented in his documentary. And I'm gladly informed now of what's been going on with fouseyTUBE and Keemstar. But now I'm going to get off of the documentary. I'm going to talk about what Scarce has been talking about. So, what Scarce says is that Drake says he has never heard of fouseyTUBE, and that might be true. But fouseyTUBE fans have said that Drake was right there with fouseyTUBE, but just because someone's or a celebrity is right there, it doesn't mean that you've ever heard of someone. But I don't really know if he was there or not, but if he was, it still doesn't mean that you've heard of this YouTuber or this celebrity. It just means that you're right there with that celebrity. But yeah, now fouseyTUBE is planning another event after he failed his second event, from what Scarce is saying, and he's saying he's going to add LeBron James. for his next event. And it's just crazy how he's doing this, okay? It's not how you make a business deal. It's not how you invite people like crazy like that. It's not how you invite people to come to your events, okay? It's not rational. And it's just very, very alarming. It just raises red flags. And even Scarce came to the conclusion that he might be going through a phase of some sort. Scarce is feeling genuinely sorry for fouseyTUBE, and he might, I don't know, Scarce might be right about fouseyTUBE going through a phase, and he could be wrong as well, okay, because we don't have any information that fouseyTUBE is going crazy or something. We don't have any information on that. But anyways, on to the final story that I would like to talk about. So, Scarce reported that fouseyTUBE was in a podcast with No Jumper 22. You know, he was on No Jumper 22's podcast with Shane Dawson, Sam Pepper, and with another guy that I forgot his name of, but there was this one part that when fouseyTUBE lashed out on Sam Pepper, and honestly, it made fouseyTUBE look really bad, saying that he was lashing out on Sam Pepper, and he was just going ballistic all on him. And it's weird how fouseyTUBE has his message to be positive and to not send hate when he's constantly yelling at Sam Pepper, not allowing him to talk. And this was basically a question that Sam Pepper had towards him, and apparently fouseyTUBE didn't like that, and he just went off on him. And apparently, after all of that, No Jumper 22 made a shirt of fouseyTUBE having not a disagreement, basically a yelling confrontation with Sam Pepper. So anyways, I think this should wrap up the video, and I'll see you next time. I can't wait for Keemstar's part 2 on the documentary, and I can't wait to see what other news is next. So that'll be it for the video today. I'll see you next time.